The following material may contain sex, coarse language, and violence.
Of course! Of course!
You're awake.
You're back!
Stop scratching at it.
I haven't even started doing that yet. How did
sorry.
you know I was going to?
Because we all failed it last time, so don't scratch at it.
Fine. What happened? The last thing I remember is seeing a
Sword
pointy
through
end of a sword sticking out of my stomach.
Well, by the sounds of it, you beat Roman, and then he came back to life immediately and stabbed you in the back.
I didn't know he could do it so quickly.
Well, apparently...
That's what the ladies say about you.
Apparently he's actually the avatar of Pharos Adar,
Oh, he said that. I didn't.
which
believe
grants him
it.
some special powers. Yeah, well, we had a conversation to the Stormlord about it.
But wait, wasn't he already coming? He already came back to life before there even was a Pharos Adar. The first time I killed him.
Yes, but didn't you explain that he...
He's probably Dragon Mind.
Stop it!
Anyway, we
Can he scratch yours instead then?
rescued...
I'm trying to remember where it is. I think it's
Somewhere
in
very private.
Yeah.
She did. I mean, I've seen you pretty much naked, and I still haven't seen where it is yet.
We rescued Scribbles, too.
Scribbles, where is he?
He's trying to
He's
cool
trying to
down your...
stuff himself inside you.
Oh, my little friend.
Running around your neck and all that.
My little friend, they saved you. How? It must have been at least 3 days I was out.
Yeah.
We need to get back.
Blake should have rounded up the reports by now. And we'll have to perform the actual breakout. Apparently the people you rescued were actually the...
Did they all get out?
They got out.
It's for Stephen.
But apparently the people you
Yours.
rescued were just... were Eddie and the maids that helped him.
We must get back to Blake, and he's going to give us some documents on
On how things went.
there's a traitor in the midst.
Of course.
Right, so you head back to Blake.
Yeah.
And he's like, right, well I guess first things first, I have to debrief you on your missions that you planned while I was ill with traitor poisoning. We'll start with Operation Sandy Frank.
What was that one?
This was the one where apparently Adrian, Falk, and Sulin were to temporarily poison some wizards with a non-fatal toxin.
That's not what we were told.
The poison is not fatal, but induces severe illness upon eating it, it says written right here in the document.
Well, we used a different poison.
Yes, so they're dead,
Yeah.
and presumably, therefore, Roman cannot call upon them for help, but if they had any kind of magical fraternity brotherhood, then we've made enemies of them forever.
Well, we've made enemies of them before.
So, not exactly what I had in mind there, but I suppose...
And I don't think that had much of a fraternity. These people were evil to begin with.
Operation Rigid Lettuce. This was, you, had an opportunity to do the same mission to a bandit camp, although you couldn't because you decided to use the poison on, the informants mission. You initiated a scouting mission against the bandits. According to this, there was a lot of infighting going on at the bandit camp, and you don't think Roman will be able to reliably call upon them for support?
As far as I believe, yes.
Well, we'll consider that mission complete then, shall we?
I'd still watch them.
Operation Folding Pig. This was Sir Guy's mission. Naturally, only 3 men died during this mission. Their distraction was successful, and we were able to remove 75,000 crowns from their coffers.
Good job,
Which
Guy.
has gone to the resistance, part of which has paid off the dead. Apparently, the masked resistance member successfully drove off all of the guards, slaying them to a man after they killed the resistance members. That, of course, was Sir Guy, who must remain a secret.
So all his team died.
I believe he had 6 men,
Yeah, he had more than 3.
so half of them
Right.
died. So that was a success.
The deaths will not be in vain.
Operation Stretching Wolf. Oleg Gan has apparently successfully distributed all of the foodstuffs to those in town.
Excellent.
Very little of it was taken by guards.
Even better.
So that's
Yes.
a great success. Operation Begging Dragon. Villas. So the gold was successfully poisoned, and we've identified several potential candidates for people who are informing on us through that. Fortunately, Master Nutrump is now completely bankrupt as well, having his entire mansion stripped of valuables somehow, and is no longer handling the informants. So we've lost our only lead there.
Thank you, Villa.
You're welcome. He's wearing a crown for some reason.
Why? You,
It was just sitting there. I couldn't resist.
everything?
Yeah, you just...
Well, I had a couple of burly lads to help me carry off the stuff, and, well...
Next time, no one to go with them.
Decker Dave's mission. Operation Sleepy Hierophant. Planting the evidence of crime. As far as we know, this just went off with great success.
Very good.
I mean, the man has been executed for treason,
Oh,
and Roman is down one capable advisor. Operation Puffy Rat.
I looked to scrolls.
Gerald is the only person who avoided capture. Everyone else who attempted to enter that safe house was caught by the guards. Mission failed.
But they were captured and not killed, I take it.
I believe they're scheduled for execution sometime next week.
So after the execution tomorrow, did you say it was?
Yeah.
Later today, probably, or tomorrow.
Yeah.
Operation Glorious Sleep. This was to find evidence of corruption or dishonor, or alternatively capture the Baron Lee. You chose not to complete this mission, which is unfortunate. I consider it to be one of the most important ones. Now we have no idea whether Baron Lee has any sympathies towards us, or might look the other way in certain circumstances. We have no evidence of corruption or dishonor. We have no information on him whatsoever. I suspect possibly we got caught up on the alternatively capture part and decided we didn't want to do that. So that's a complete blank to us. I think I'm one missing. Where's your mission folder?
There's my one. That's the one you're talking about. Yep. People fell out. But we all know how that one went.
Operation Eldritch Bull. We lost 10 men. We lost you. Unfortunately, Eddie's useless to us now because he's been burnt. Haven't seen Dudley. Don't know what happened to him. And of course, Saphiro died.
I'm right here.
But you did die.
Yes.
This was a resounding victory for Roman. While the execution did not go off according to his plans, and the people that were up for execution were in fact released, he was able to turn it into a PR coup that, fortunately, just landed him not so much support, but additional fear.
We can use that fear, though.
Indeed.
It did give us some valuable information, though.
We need to find a way to take him down permanently. I'm sick of him being
Anyway,
killed.
Here's the traitors list.
I'm sick of him being killed and then coming back. We've done this no less than 3 times already.
There's no way we can kill him while he has that sword.
Even if I'd taken the sword off of him, he
What do
still
you mean
would
we
have been
can't
able
kill
to...
him while he has the sword?
Well, the sword is a symbol, so...
Yes, but it could also be a symbol that he wrongfully has the sword.
So his apparent newfound role as an avatar of Pharaoh Sadar is
No.
not exactly...
Also, we have to pull another jailbreak tomorrow. But I'm thinking, why jailbreak at all? Why not actually just invade the palace and kill Roman?
While revealing that Saphiro was still alive.
Indeed.
Even though everyone
Completely
saw him
discrediting his story about the dog food.
die. Exactly.
Yes, but then he'll pull the necromancy card. Lord knows I've tried to pull that with him.
Yes, but they all saw him do it.
Listen to me, Saphiro. He can't play the necromancy card if you kill him until he is permanently dead.
No, I mean...
But
he
I'm thinking
will...
Sir Guy will do that. He is a sturdy fighter. He hasn't died yet. He's reliable and trustworthy. Honourable.
Who do you suspect as your,
Those are the top suspects there.
But they're your top men.
And you're added to the list too, even though
You
you
are
really
in here.
can't be,
Why would I be in that list?
because everyone is.
I think we can eliminate him. He was almost hung.
Perfect cover,
Well, he actually was hung until we rescued him.
but maybe you were allowed to rescue him. Thus we trust him completely and bring him into the fold.
Actually, how did you cut them down when they were hanging? Did the scaffolding end up breaking?
With some encouragement, but it took a lot of encouragement. I didn't do it, it was my men. Or your men, I should say. He's gone missing.
He might still be on
We
top
know
of the
he's
tower.
not the traitor. Possible. 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 I don't think so somehow, but Gan, I mean, do we think Gan's a traitor?
There's no way Gan could be the traitor.
I mean, I'd like to
He's
think
like the
Sir-
nicest person we know.
I'd like to think Sir Guy, considering what he did with getting the coin, isn't, but
Could have been staged.
possible.
He is an honourable knight.
But
We've met a few people who claim to be honourable
he
knights.
took all that gold.
Which we now have.
And they're not. I mean, we didn't even end up using old Bert for anything.
The problem with old Bert is that he might not remember who's on his side, so his betrayal, if it is him, it could be unintentional.
Possible.
Like someone's just pretending to be part of the group, and old Bert doesn't remember who's in the know and isn't.
I doubt it's Villa or Gan.
Villa has a number of corruptible vices, and he's a coward.
But he's too honest.
He wouldn't.
He would tell
He's
us.
literally a thief.
An
Here's
honest
my-
thief. He would tell us if
Here's
he
my take
betrayed
on
us.
it. Would he like to make an enemy of the Thieves Guild?
No. But if the take was big enough...
Villa,
What?
are you the informant?
I'm hurt and disgusted.
You know what would happen if you lied to us.
Hey, this is a nice sword you've got.
Which one?
Oh, your newest one. That you acquired from the log.
I know, which one's about. Why have you taken that?
I've got to keep in practice.
So do I.
You know you don't have dual wielding, right?
Didn't say I did.
He doesn't know that.
You're no fun, and you should be fun.
And anyway, I'm only holding one sword.
You're right, the other one's a fish.
He's not that good.
You could be.
It could be.
Besides, you can't tell.
What? It's an invisible fish. It's an invisible sword.
We need more information about...
Yes.
Dudley could still be on top of the tower.
Well, he checked, he doesn't seem to be.
And he wasn't found at the bottom of the tower?
Well, we didn't see him any of the times we went in or out.
How many times did you go in and out of that tower?
Well, we went in again after you died. Because your body was taken, and I thought it might be there.
We had to go back because we were told we had to clean.
And that. Sulan's really bad at cleaning.
No, just don't understand how you use the broom like that.
What do you use a broom for? A mop for?
Well, why wouldn't you use a mop for cleaning your tracks?
What, like in the dirt?
Yeah.
So you'd use a mop to make a mess?
Yes.
Literally.
Well, how else do you hide your footprints?
What, that's not... I guess we just use it for different things.
Possible.
Anyway, on a side note, someone's... What did you say? Magic thing... I could get distracted now and then.
You could get distracted now and then.
Yeah, well, because of the way we entered the tower, we basically entered into a room incredibly dense with mana and raw energy magic. And incredibly dense. Because Sulan's not magical, she doesn't have a natural resistance to that sort of thing. So it may have some side effects. And incredibly dense.
Side effects. Such as?
Random flashbacks, apparently.
So far.
Yeah. I mean, you could probably fly or something. Who knows?
Possible. What's a flashback?
I see my past. Okay, I see my past like it's happening right now.
Like a dream, but...
No, dreams...
Much more real.
It's so real.
Oh, like those visions we had when we were in the tump and we were like touching the stairs and... In the lament, I should say.
Actually, it would be very close to that, yes. If not, yes.
Okay. But this was actually experiences from your past as opposed to whole new experiences.
She sees pictures in her head, also there's sound and slightly smell. And touch. I guess.
Can you
And taste.
affect these things, or
We
are you
haven't
just...
experienced that yet.
Well, she drank the thing.
Oh, yes. And tasted, yes.
So you would have seen me
You can't affect this, you're like a...
No,
just
when
an
you're doing
observer?
from the outside, you're just like...
standing there. Ooh, alright, it's good.
I probably would have been blabbering about something
Yeah.
and not realizing you were...
Oh, yeah, I ignore you all the time, so it's not like it.
And also, I'm really distracted whenever you take deep breaths, so stop doing that. I have to focus on my magic.
Are you, like, trapped in your body, unable to affect things? As if...
I can't affect things. It's as far as I know, it's my past.
Is there anything useful?
No.
I suppose it's not too much of a bad thing so long as it doesn't happen during a crucial moment.
If that's it, I don't know when it happens. It can happen anytime so far.
So how many times has it happened?
Twice.
And what were you doing both times it happened?
Well,
If you don't mind my
first
asking.
time was walking in the street. That's what I was doing, wasn't it?
That's kind of what happened both times. We were just talking.
The first time was actually, if I remember rightly, when you were sparring with Saphira.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's when I was just... Ah, the Butterfinger, wasn't it? Is when I
Made you unconscious by tapping
made you
lightly.
unconscious.
Wasn't that way before we went up the tower, though?
Yeah, it was.
Actually,
But given the nature of that
that could
tower,
still be the cause of the tower. Because the nature of the tower is
cause and
outside of
effect
time.
don't necessarily
Yeah.
happen
So
in the
it
same
could have
order.
made the effect happen before we even went up.
What you've got here is a potential high-energy predestination paradox.
Wait, so you're saying Sulan was affected by the magical
The tower before we went up there.
How is that even possible?
The tower is
That's like-
outside of...
It's theoretically possible.
Well, it's...
I mean, isn't that like me becoming a vampire or a werewolf before I've even been bitten by either of them?
It could happen with the use of the tower, though.
I don't get it.
16 against my will, is it? Oh,
For
that's, I thought it was go back into memory. That's all right.
No, I thought you were trying to roll to see if you might connect that. Wait, vampires bite you and turn you into them?
Yeah,
Because I was rendered unconscious by a vampire.
I know. No, it should be all right because I've been out in the daytime.
Is this something to do with that female vampire you were talking about the other day?
Yes, because I was unconscious for a bit.
Were you bitten?
Well, obviously I wasn't. Well, I've been outside in the daytime.
I mean,
I don't
due to
even
the
know.
power of the tower, that could even be a delayed effect.
Well,
How do
would
we-
I
don't
not
even-
have marks?
I mean, you likely would.
I remember reading somewhere
There's
that,
marks here.
No.
Oh, okay.
I'm sure I remember reading somewhere that sometimes the marks seal over. I don't know if it's true, but it was in a book I read.
Well, how
Alright. It's at this point you realise he might be onto you, and you will have to kill him to silence him. So, from the influence of your vampiric master, level drain would be the way to do that.
okay.
So just roll me a d20.
7.
It's not high enough. You're not gonna get it with that. So she starts casting vampiric level drain at you.
Oh, okay.
No, it's not.
I mean, I don't know, like, if you've got some kind of secret thing that I don't know about.
Not this time.
No, it's Adrian's turn for one of those. Because that's how it works.
But the thing is, because the tower is outside of time, and it's hard to explain it to you, but it uses so much energy. Like,
So you're saying I could be a vampire but not?
it's probably
Or I'll
unlikely.
be a vampire later, but
You
not
could be
today.
a vampire later, but not today.
I don't even know how long it takes for vampirism to kick in, so, I mean, it could take a week anyway. I mean, does anyone
So
know?
what you're saying is she could be the traitor.
No.
Because she could have been betraying us before she got here.
No.
Because your tower thing makes things happen out of order?
No. It changes cause and effect. It doesn't make it so Solon can be here before she was here.
But that would be
but that
different,
could
wouldn't it?
happen.
So
If-
it could happen.
Sulan won't be your traitor.
I'm going to sit down in the corner and just sit.
Are you okay?
I don't understand any of this. All I know is...
To be fair, it's incredibly complicated and entirely theoretical. I mean, if I hadn't been up into the tower myself, I would say it's probably impossible. You would need a lot of time and a lot of energy.
Yeah, but isn't that Ventuzela's tower?
Well, yeah.
Oh, actually...
So we
fuck up.
basically have the
It's
Mad
alright.
Mage himself controlling this.
Well, no, he doesn't necessarily control the cause and effect due to...
But I'm just saying we have a very powerful wizard who's a factor here, correct?
Oh, yeah.
So if anybody could do something like that, it would be him, am I not correct?
Well, yeah.
Well, there we go. That's enough evidence
That's-
right there, isn't it? That it could be possible or plausible.
No. That's like saying the Dark One was defeated by one person. It would probably be Eamon. But realistically, he probably couldn't just defeat the Dark One by himself, right?
Well, he probably did need something else. I mean, he couldn't just wander, I think, into the domain of the Dark One and do it all by himself.
But that's kind of what I mean. You see, just because it's Vin
Yeah,
Tuzla isn't
so-
necessarily an answer as to...
I would just sit there and just quietly sit there. But I'm all good now.
Okay.
Anyway, this isn't helping us stop Roman. So,
The tower is very interesting, though.
We'll
so
worry
is your
about the tower
plan
later.
basically just storm the palace and get him?
No, actually, but I'm not sure how much plan I want to go into before we've isolated a
Ousted the
potential traitor. Let's just say that it involves a prison break prior to an execution that may or may not be a distraction.
That's the whole
Then it
plan.
involves entering the palace through a secret underground place that I'm trying desperately to find a map to, but don't have one yet.
Villa,
What?
because I know he's always hiding somewhere. Can you give us the map?
Tried. Failed.
I mean, wouldn't your guild actually have said map?
No, it's surprising.
Hold on. What about the maps I brought back?
Oh, these ones.
Jesus, why did I put them?
I have so many maps.
Would
Do we
they-
hand all
would these
the
help?
maps over, or just a big pile of them? I have a lot of maps. Oh, what about these ones?
That's maps of the palace.
Either the palace or below it or something like that.
I found these in the camp.
So, in the camp, these are the palace. There's the main entrance. Here. That's the first floor, that's the second. Where did you get these? Camp?
The
When you went
The
scouting?
bandit camp.
the bandit camp. Yes, they had them.
Well, that one's crudely drawn from memory of something we saw in the...
This one. Yes. It must be. Indeed. I will return them at a later date.
Okay.
He leaves, leaving you with your conundrum.
I mean, I could probably do more research into it if I went up into the tower again. but-
What if he's a traitor?
Who, Blake? No way.
Blake's the whole one running the operation.
Okay. I don't understand your whole thing here, but what if Roman wanted to have a symbol against him?
So you're saying he planted Blake to create a revolution against him in order to make himself look better because he's
And-
constantly undoing the plans of the
And it
revolution.
would bring all the elements in underneath this one person, and they'd be able to take them out.
I don't think Roman's that subtle.
I don't know how these games are
It
played.
seems more like a Prime Minister plan than a Roman
Then
plan.
he may have done it,
The Prime Minister's long dead now.
and he was a friend of the Prime Minister. Remember?
From what I can understand, the Prime Minister probably is the one who brought Roman in, and then either they had a disagreement or Roman was like, I've got all the use I can out of you and got rid of him.
If it was Blake, though, why would he give us control over the missions?
To be fair, I don't
Because
think...
he was ill from poison. Or so it is claimed.
Oh, no, I mean, this is under the assumption that Blake's the traitor, so the poison was probably fake, right?
Under that logic. What if it wasn't, though?
So he...
I mean,
why would he
there
give...
is always the possibility that he just got poisoned because someone believed he was really...
Yeah.
If Blake got poisoned, but then he gave the mission control to us, and for the most part we were successful.
Well, were we?
Most of the operations, the main ones we didn't succeed in were the one we didn't even do anything about. I suppose, my one, which was half and half. It was because it somehow got found out about, and they tricked us. And then the one where, they went to, they got captured basically.
I'll help however I can, but you guys know this better than I. I'm just so used to it's obvious in front. We go at it, but
I'm sure you'll be great once we just do a
Willpower check.
frontal assault.
no.
Good. Intelligence roll.
Dead even.
So success.
Yeah.
You're in like a sort of an open-ended hall. Outside, the trees are blowing an autumnal breeze, leaves are falling. Now, there are 3 other young students, all dressed up like they're like higher officials, and like an old woman is leaning on her thing. She is like, there. No. Look again, all of you. You see? No high official in any tribe would duck their head like they're embarrassed to be here dressed in that manner. Fake. You see? That one? An elder walks with confidence into the hall, not shuffling. Fake! Look. Always look. It is detail. Who hides a knife? The one who is hiding the knife. How do you hide the knife?
In plain sight.
In plain sight is one way. Always look. You wake up.
Once we get to infiltrating the palace, I'm sure you'll be fine because it's just you. Are you okay, Sulan?
Did it happen again?
Well, it is an unpleasant experience.
Yes.
What happened? If you don't mind my asking.
Again, flashback.
Are they the
Yes,
things
but-
you still remember or things you had forgotten?
It's how I grew up. Just
No, but sometimes when you're young you forget things. Is it things you remember or things you had forgotten?
no, it's things I take for granted.
It's probably a bit of both, if you know what I mean. Like, I'm assuming it's things that you have a memory of, but you see them more clearly when you go through it again, so you pick up the little details you'd forgotten about. Would that be
Can I do a
correct?
memory roll on any of the characters that we've met?
Only ones that you've used the appropriate skill I think you're fishing for on already.
Which would only be Blake
Villa.
and Villa. First one, fail, which would be Blake because he's my
Okay.
and Villa. Success.
Villa appears to be legit in your mind. All of his mannerisms
too-
are appropriate for the persona he seems to have.
Yep.
What about Gan? I mean, I don't know what she's...
hasn't used it.
Okay,
on.
I just know we'd spent a fair amount of time with Gan as well, so I wasn't sure. Probably slightly more than Blake.
The problem is Blake I used it on because he was one of the first ones we met,
Okay, yeah.
and I wanted to feel him out. And then
Villa because he was really sneaky.
Villa because I wanted to know if he was fucking what he was saying at the time.
Sulan, is there any... This may be me fishing for something that's not there, but when you have a flashback, does anything in the flashback relate to anything similar to circumstances that are happening now?
Well,
You said the one when you were sparring with Zafiro, he gave you the inspiration to knock him out.
it
Remember?
is actually, they are helpful. They've been helping me remember things I've forgotten that I take for granted. Like I know Villa is Villa. Villa's not hiding anything from us. We can trust Villa.
You know that
Oh,
for certain?
thanks. Does that mean I can keep all of these coins I've just arranged?
If they're ours, no.
No, give back my rubies.
Oh, fine. You know how much you've got here, right?
Yes.
Enough for a lot of spells.
He appraises all your gems for you.
Okay.
Anything with the small modifier is worth 10 crowns.
Yeah.
Anything with the medium-sized modifier is worth 50 crowns.
He doesn't care. It's just spell components.
No, because spell components
done
sometimes
by-
have a thing like, you must use a ruby worth at least, blah blah blah.
okay.
Like the old diamond.
So, he appraises all your gems for you.
I'll have to be in the room with all the others to try this.
What are you talking about?
I think I know what you mean. When the upright man wants to know who's dropped a dime on one of the crew, he gets them all in a room and looks them over with the evil eye, and then he says, "Aye, you be the one that's been telling the tales on us." 9 times out of 10 he's right.
So you have some kind of people appraisal? Traitor sense?
No, it's more...
Looking for small details? I mean, I've heard it's possible that some people are so good at... Like, they can just almost read your mind just by looking at you or talking to you. I mean,
Yeah, they're called elf lords.
It's hard to tell. It's hard to explain. I just know it when I see it.
What if we... No, we couldn't do that. That would be dishonorable. Never mind.
hypothetically, what were you going to say? In a purely hypothetical situation that will never happen.
Roll.
Is he trying to set
Deception.
it up?
I get the impression your character's so like open-faced and honest that this kind of deception may not be terribly effective.
Oh no!
I think we both failed.
I did 19, so...
Maybe it's too recently after your resurrection, but you're not really looking for deception from Adrian.
Hypothetically, I was thinking, what if, like someone were to, like Blake were to grab one of us, tied up, and then announce to everybody, we found the traitor in front of all the others in here.
Well, they seem to believe me to
And
be a traitor.
then Sulin, you could maybe gauge reactions. Would that help?
It would have to be you, though. No one trusts Sulin, and no one trusts me.
So they may believe...
You're a necromancer.
So no, of course.
See?
So they would believe that you're the traitor, right?
And Sulin's really scary.
No, what I mean is, no one would be surprised. Whereas people would have different varying reactions if it were to be you.
That's possible. I mean, I don't mind being the one who would do such a thing, but I mean, we can't mislead people like that. That's dishonorable.
Saphira, can you look over there and put your hands behind your back? Sulin, I have this rope.
You better roll again.
I beat my charisma.
You have to be under.
Yeah.
I'm well under my charisma because my charisma
But
is.
it's closest to without going over in a versus battle, which means I got on my charisma.
Yes, but what is your charisma?
9.
And what did you roll?
8.
Yeah, he beats you by 1.
Just.
But the thing I would have to say is
That's
that
a really
would
bad
be a
ploy.
modifier. That is the worst ploy.
Yeah, I mean, especially the.
But I don't think it would work the way you did with
I mean,
that
the
margin.
look behind you is like, yeah, okay, but the
Hey,
put
look
your
over
hands.
there might have worked, but then you were like, Sulin, I've got this rope.
Well, Adrian's really bad at this sort of thing, okay?
Yeah, so I don't think
You're
that
not.
works.
You're not tying me up, Adrian.
Well, I tried. You can't. He came back to life with half his HP. If I remember.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm on a half my
You're on
HP.
half HP.
They haven't even adjusted it yet. So.
Oh, so you're dead. Sheets. You're out of dragon marks. So only Roman gets to come back repeatedly.
Boo.
Villa?
He ran.
Yep.
It was scary. He's not there anymore.
Do they still have the old cloth bags?
I'm imagining.
Yep.
I mean, sacking isn't exactly uncommon.
Is there one that is relatively see-through? Because, you know, sometimes they
So you're
have...
looking for a relatively open weave in your medieval
But
sack.
they could...
yes, you can have
But
that.
it looks... Yeah, but it looks like it is...
Everything always looks less open than it does from the outside. Yeah.
Right. Sack over my head.
Well, you can't have any part of this, sure.
What are you doing, Solo?
They're trying to trick people with dishonesty.
I'm going to be able to see if anyone's lying to us.
Can you see through that?
I mean, it does apply negative to your perception,
Look,
but
I
yes,
thought
you can.
this was a purely hypothetical thing. I didn't actually mean...
They believe I'm evil. Already. I want to see who it is.
I'm not gonna...
That's fine, don't.
Can you go get Blake, Saphiro? I have to talk to him about something completely unrelated.
Suddenly Blake arrives.
I'll have no part of this.
Should I come back later?
Bring everyone. We should probably tell them that we've found the traitor.
You're kidding. But you weren't even here. That makes no sense.
Time tower. Magic.
Very well, I'll assemble everyone. 2 hours later. In the cheap street safe house.
As they're all coming in,
Everyone
I'll be...
except Saphiro is there.
Yeah.
Because of course he's dead.
Yes.
Oh, so I'm not
Yeah.
even going to be
No.
there as a... Okay, yeah.
You want no part of this, you said.
Well, I meant in the facade. I mean, if they wanted to gather me and the people to watch...
No, but also we shouldn't let the traitor know that you're alive.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
your point.
Unless
I'll
it's-
spend some time with Scribbles.
Yeah.
So as they're coming in, I'll be gauging them.
Scribbles approves of this.
I'm going to play with him and stuff.
Well,
He
I'll
hasn't had a
be-
lot of attention lately.
Well, he's had a lot of
No,
attention.
he hasn't had a lot of good attention.
You've ranked up your It's a Fucking Rat Icon. I have the music. Right, so everyone's there.
So as they're coming in and how they're interacting with each other, I'll be gauging. all of
Okay.
them.
Need a folder. I want a style analysis roll. Sorry, an assimilation roll.
Have inspirations changed yet?
Have I given you all a new sheet?
No.
I also haven't given you the sheet for your invisible sword because I haven't printed the XP things and they're all attached to that. 1, 2. He won't be able to attend. Will is exempt. 3, 4. You're not looking at him. That's you. He's not there. 5.
So, can I do this to give her an extra roll on Geralt?
Gerald?
Yeah. And
Sorry, Gerard.
Gerard.
Because he was a manservant and his picture is Gerard Butler.
Yeah, you said that.
He also,
Completely ballsed his mission.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he was the only one that got out.
Yeah, just that one. That's the one I'm suspicious of, and I don't want to
Okay.
spend too much.
Right, so, first roll, when you're ready.
11.
Is that a success?
Yes.
Okay. Next one, next person.
10.
Is that a success?
Yes.
Next person.
No.
You do have 2 rolls on this person.
No.
Next person.
Can I...
Silver to...
One more roll.
Jesus, Stephen!
What? It's intelligence, yes.
Oh, is it? Oh, okay. Okay.
One,
thought you'd
next
failed
person.
Yes.
Super.
Next person.
Yes. Help.
Right, so, of the people who were there, and not of the people you've decided to eliminate, which includes him, yourself, Blake,
Villa.
Villa, and things like that, he is acting more subdued than normal. However, his behavior is appropriate for recent events. He seems curious and alarmed that there is a traitor at all, but then seems to maybe accept it as a sudden realization.
because of what happened with his mission.
No,
maybe.
I'm not attributing that to anything.
No, but maybe that would be. Yeah.
At the announcement that there is a traitor, a flash of psychotic rage passes across his face. This is in keeping with normal characteristics. It quickly passes into puzzled confusion, however, followed by disbelief. Given recent events, his behavior is otherwise normal. Seems legit. You failed. You don't know shit.
She
Oh, wait, no,
she
she
succeeded all of them. In the end, that
Yeah,
was the
the
one
end.
that just took the most work.
Yeah.
When it is announced that they have found the traitor, he breaks out into a sweat. But that goes away when he sees the hooded figure. Otherwise, his behavior is normal given the circumstances. Looks like he wants to punch someone. Want to fight about it?
So part of the course for that guy.
Thought you'd interpret that. Isn't entirely sure why he's here. Forgets everything that's being told to him on a minute-by-minute basis. Seems to pick up when he has a beer in his hand and becomes more alert. You're not really familiar with this guy? His behavior seems a bit erratic. But you've been told he has memory problems.
Yeah.
Of the people that you were paying attention to, the one who seems most suspicious is Gerard. I will move him to the top of the stack. I will put the people who attended vertically in here. I will put the people who did not attend and or you discounted as candidates horizontally.
So what did you think?
You were just asking that while she was still hooded in front of them. Yeah?
I mean, he's taken the hood off.
This is
The thing.
Yeah.
And they're all like, gasp! And then Gen's like, that doesn't make sense.
So this is after she's already assessed everyone, basically?
Yeah.
Well, that's actually because it doesn't. It was a test.
I don't like being lied to.
Especially when you're lying to us.
Dark cloud passes across Gan's face. Lying to you.
Well, Gerard is the one lying to us. Don't
Wait,
kill him.
lying to you? I've never lied to anyone except the bad people that I'm supposed to lie to. You know what I mean.
Is he hedging away?
Not really.
Well, he was the only one that reacted to there being a traitor in your midst.
Of course. When I realized suddenly what happened when we tried to enter the safe house. They must have been tipped off.
Yes.
There's a lot of good men died there. Where if I'd have known there was a traitor beforehand, I would have taken different precautions.
By you.
I'm not a traitor.
See, most people nowadays, I believe, would have tried to attack me for...
You're just wrong. You're allowed to be wrong.
I don't believe so.
Besides which, isn't it more suspicious that there's a bunch of people not here at all?
Like,
If,
Well, where's that Dudley fellow?
we actually don't know where he is. He's
Well,
gone
there
missing.
you go.
if Dudley was a traitor, wouldn't he have not shot them down?
Maybe he was under instructions to shoot them down.
Why?
Keep his cover.
Yes, but you could
No,
also...
but that shot would be almost impossible to make. No one could ever blame him for not making that shot.
And yet, here we are. Doesn't the fact that he did make that impossible shot lend credibility to him? So you'd bring him more into more secret planning?
Well, Sulin could make that shot.
Impossible.
Seraphine probably could too, right?
No
Yes.
woman could make that shot. Their distributions would get in the way. It's a long-held ancient belief that women couldn't shoot a bow as well as a man because breasts. But yeah, he's like reasonably confrontational. You can make another roll.
I was going to say, can you make
you
another
can even
roll?
make just a general sense motive roll, can't you? Or-
Equal. So yes.
It is a little unusual that he's not more defensive.
I believe that he would have gone... The honourable thing is, I'll defend my honour, let's fight.
But you're a woman.
Yeah, but
And
then
in this society, you don't do that to women.
Yeah. I was gonna say, let's just get Saphira, because he can fucking detect lies.
You can do that.
no, he detects evil.
No,
He's
I can
different.
detect
I don't
evil.
think
I
he
can
was a high
detect.
enough cleric to be able to have
I can
access.
detect evil, and I can detect evil intent.
Ah, okay.
So who else do you think? Because my money is on you.
I hadn't given any consideration to that anyone would be a traitor. So I don't know. I can tell you that I am innocent. That's all I know.
Well, if that's fine. You can stay here. I'm still bound as far as. Yeah, she's still outside.
What time of day is it?
It'll be night. Sometime at night.
Do you mind if we put you in Vent Tower where you can't get out until this all blows over then?
In the evil wizard tower.
That's not a
No.
good idea. How about we just leave him here under guard? Until this is sorted. I mean, I'm sure all you men are reasonable. That you think it's a good idea.
Well, we're going to need everyone if we're going to rescue the tomorrow.
Well, then we can leave him here, tied up.
Could always suggest a type of buddy system, if you know what I mean.
No, I wouldn't trust him.
Where you always
You
at
put 'em
least
with-
have two people, somebody you know you can trust, like Villa.
Or Gan?
Or me.
Yeah.
You put Gan with him?
Yeah.
No, we can't put you with him. Why? Because we need you to fucking...
Oh, you
kill
need
everyone.
me to do all the killing, and you guys
Yes.
just stand back and fucking
Yeah,
watch. Yeah, I understand.
You stand back and watch, I stand even further away going la la la.
You need her there for when you guys confront Romans, so that instead of you fighting there, she can be all like, I am Sulin of the Casada Goshen. Your god loves me more than she loves you, because I keep the afterlife packed with fresh souls.
It's true, she does.
I
mean, if they go there,
You've killed a lot of
that
people!
you know of.
You've killed a lot of people.
and that
You don't know half of it.
And that depends how many of the sort of she instigated infighting counts.
It doesn't count if you get attacked. As far as I'm concerned, murder and self-defense
no.
isn't
Oh, no.
murder at all.
Not in this setting for sure.
No, fuck no.
Yeah.
It's just the amount of skill required to reliably defeat opponents without killing them is like fucking master level, grandmaster level fighting.
Yeah.
You'd have to be fucking some little old monk in a temple to be reliably counted upon to not kill your opponents.
Isn't that like Monk's thing, is they can just reliably, like, non-lethal?
Yeah, because they can't reliably lethal. Not in AD&D.
Yeah.
I will be homebrewing a monk that isn't shit at some point. Or if anyone dies and wants to be a monk, or if we get a new player who wants to be a monk, then I'll work with them to make a version that doesn't blow in this edition.
Potential players send all...
To dungeonmasterchief@gmail.com.
How do we wish to resolve this? Because, as far as I can tell, he's lying.
If you were a man, I would strike you down for casting aspersions on my honor like that, but you are not.
Well,
And you are foreign, so you know not what you say.
I know exactly what I say back. Where I'm from, we would resolve this in battle.
You really don't want to fight Sulin. She's really strong.
I could not in good conscience strike a woman.
I
You're
don't
right.
think you would hit her.
You probably wouldn't.
You speak in boasts and challenges, but you will not goad me into fighting you. I at least have a shred of honor.
Well, you can't. Because you've traded these men for money or
I
wealth.
tell you I am not a traitor.
Then who have you been talking to? Because you're concerned that something.
I'm alarmed that there is talk of betrayal, and I wish we had been told this sooner, for undoubtedly this traitor has caused great harm to myself and the men that I led into a trap.
It can't have been that bad because you got out unscathed.
I admit I escaped because
You
I
sacrificed
did
your
not
men.
go in at all.
So you waited for the men to go in.
No. As the plan I outlined was, we would send one in at a time, interspersed with in gaps. Now, once 2 or 3 were in there, we heard a commotion. I sent my last man in to investigate. He did not come back, so I made an escape.
Sounds like a real honourable thing to do.
It was not easy, but the greater honor would be not to throw one life away after another needlessly.
You sent another man in.
Had I known the possibility of betrayal existed, I wouldn't have sent more than one in without some kind of reverse
But you did
phrase.
know.
I maintain I did not. And frankly, it is your word and my word, and there is no evidence one way or another. The only logical thing to do, Blake, is to disbelieve both of us and recuse me from any future missions.
I mean, we could just take him to the Temple of Benadar and get them to detect truth.
That would work.
And that would cost.
I'm sure we can afford that.
Does he... Can you do your thing, though, to see if he, like, gets nervous when we mention the... We could just use the cleric magic?
I can. Yes, I
Jeez.
can. Really well. Really well.
He doesn't seem concerned.
Okay.
We're just like slightly angry, but
But it didn't like suddenly leap up at that moment. Yeah.
Well then, that's fine, yes. Not be part of the mission, but again, he can't go anywhere because he may or may not tell someone. I mean, the best outcome for you would be to actually not go anywhere for the next 24 hours.
if that is what it takes to allay your fears, then so be it. But this is the fear, recrimination, and false accusation that we have come to. Saddening.
See, I don't know enough about this guy to actually
Yeah, that's
do
the
anything.
problem.
That's the problem. I can't push on any buttons. I was hoping someone else would say something, but
Isn't this guy, like, actually a traitor, though? Even if he's not the traitor here, he's a traitor. If he's not the traitor here, he's a traitor to his original master, isn't he?
He was sent away,
Ah, okay.
and he was not retained, so he's basically like joined the resistance because it's like all the good and his reasoning at the time was that all the good and honourable people have been removed from positions of power and everything's wrong and I don't have a job anymore, so what else have I got to lose?
Keep in mind there were people who just weren't at the get together. You didn't even get to scan.
Oh, yeah, I mean, Sergei is probably the one I suspect the most often. He's, like, too good to be true. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I mean, I didn't immediately suspect him, but I did kind of have this, like, he could be, just because of that whole too good. He's just, yeah.
I'll say, well, we can go off to the side and these men can discuss the plans on what they wish to get in.
Okay. So, plans. What do you guys want to do with your big break-in?
Why don't we just get him?
See, Blake's plan is that while, like, the boys try and basically just rack up the place and steal the guys from the nooses, or, you know, try and get in there beforehand, the main body would infiltrate the palace in secret through the under thing, and then like each different group would like split up and try and find Roman.
Or there'd be like a group with weapons that takes them up front and stuff.
Yeah, there'd be like
rebels in the
one
front
group
of
that's
the
going to support those guys there, and another group that's going to, and the other group would then like get spread throughout the palace and just look for Roman, and then kill him.
Yeah.
Maybe try and find out if the king's alive or not, and that sort of thing. So, it's basically he's settled on the plan, and he's just like, so what do you guys want to do? Because
Well, I can't sneak.
Well, it wouldn't be so much sneaking as so much
It's getting in there.
entering through a way in they don't know we have. Once you're in there,
Yes, but once we're in-
the general sound of other people in armor isn't going to make you any more or less noticeable.
True. I would like to see if I could find King Stephen.
Right, so we'll put you on the second floor crew. Your job will be to get up to the second floor and search around there looking for Romans and kings. Because the king's bedroom is known to be on the second floor.
Hopefully,
I want to go with whatever team Sulin's in.
Well, I was imagining that you three would work together.
Yeah.
Well, so it would be good to even, despite the noise hopefully not being a problem, if you could at least scout a little bit ahead, check corners and
The
so forth.
noise may help.
Well, what were you thinking of doing then, Blake?
Well, I'm going in with Gan and Villa. And we will be mainly on the first floor. First, we have to deliver weapons out into the courtyard, and secondly, search for Roman.
You're not going to try to rally the people in the courtyard around you?
That will come after Roman is dead.
Oh, so instead of Saphira's plan of he fights Roman while the men do the work, you're planning on killing Roman before everything else?
Whichever group finds Roman will... He is the primary target. He has to go. The city is on breaking point. The peasants have no money, and the ruinous overtaxation and corrupt guards is breaking everything down.
If anyone kills Roman, I think he needs to be immediately decapitated.
I will so inform everyone.
Well, what are your plans to get around the fact that he's an avatar of a god and he seems to be able to get up from death? Because, again, I killed him but a few days ago and he just got right back up and killed me.
How long? What was the delay on him getting back up?
Seconds.
I basically got to
Turn around.
cave in his skull, turn around, yell freedom, and then there was a
stabbed
sword
you.
sticking out of me.
That's pretty fast.
We probably
5 to
need to work.
10 seconds at the most.
It was easily much faster than when he did it in your first fight.
We probably need to work on dismemberment at the very least.
If we could only find out how he's actually doing it.
Well,
Does he have some kind of magical artifact, or is he actually blessed by his god and given... No, because again, he didn't become a... Unless the first time he was actually resurrected with money, and then it's only since then he's been...
that could be the case.
It's only since...
We don't know
ties to
exactly when the
Parasadar
schism
that-
happened, though.
No, but...
Now, the alternative plan if Roman flees is to find the king if he still lives and get him to sign a document denouncing Roman and his edicts.
Well, I was hoping
If
to at least...
the king does not live, then we're in a bit of a situation.
Well, Duke
Well-
Winter can't be far off, can he?
When did your friend leave?
he's still miles... Seraphine may not
Over
even
a week
be...
ago.
May not even be there.
May not have even reached Duke Winter.
Yeah.
I suppose
quite
if
fast.
if the king is in fact dead and Roman does flee, then we must maintain the city until the Duke arrives to take over.
If we can find If the king is in fact dead, if we can find some kind of foul play on Roman's part, that would be enough to overthrow him, would it not?
It depends.
Don't you have the best claim by bloodline, Saphira?
Well, just because I...
Word has it that he's a traitor. Like, literally guilty of treason by blood.
That is true.
That wouldn't look good.
I mean, I know now the circumstances why, which I only found out shortly after I found out that I was a traitor by blood.
As it turns out, your treasonous instincts bred into you by your blood have helped the people in this situation.
Treasonous instincts.
Well, you've turned against the nobility and the ostensibly legitimate documents that make Roman legitimate Lord Regent, and you're helping the people instead by attempting to overthrow the ostensibly legitimate government.
How did he
That sounds like treason to me, and it sounds like exactly what we'll be hung for if we fail. Whereas if because we know in our hearts that the king has been coerced somehow, therefore freeing him he will pardon us of treason because we were acting in the proper spirit of patriotism.
I still fail to see how Roman got a legitimate claim in the first place.
His claim is based on a verified document signed by the king, ratified by the Prime Minister.
Who is now dead.
Interesting, isn't it?
Yes.
But we don't believe that. That's the point of all this. If we believed that was true, we would all be just traitors.
And the legitimate document completely ignores the fact that Roman killed his own father and tried to kill his own brother.
It does. Such acts would, of course, invalidate such a transfer.
As well as allying with forces of the Dark in an attempt to overrun the North.
Not actually a crime.
Really?
Surprisingly, yes. I've never
No,
heard of
because
such a crime.
a kingdom can, if they so choose, worship the Dark One. There's nothing to stop them choosing to do that. If a ruler...
There is no law against worship of the Dark God in this kingdom.
For example, if King Stephen's son decided to become a Dark One worshipper,
Gods forbid.
then you just kind of have to deal with that fact. Just avoid the kingdom.
The point is, the plan is, in 2 bells, we infiltrate. We go under the palace. Thanks to your maps, which I will return to you just prior to going in, we know how to get through the trap-filled dungeon that has been unused for who knows how long beneath the palace and gain entry. And we will do it in the night. And then, from our concealed positions, when the day comes, act.
On that earlier point, do we know where the whereabouts or circumstances surrounding King Stephen's son? I do believe he has one, does he not?
Oh, yes, of course he does. He's currently, I believe, on a goodwill tour in Burmania with
yes.
Duke Winter.
Oh, that's right, I do remember something about that.
He's travelling in disguise, everyone says, because that makes him romantic and interesting.
Was he the squire we came across?
You came across a squire? In Burmania?
Oh,
No,
no.
who was about to leave for Burmania just before the winter snow rolled in.
Oh, you mean the unfortunate descendant of the traitor. Like you, he would have been related to you, in fact. Squire Peel. No, he was going to complete his master's, who had died in unforeseen circumstances, quest to go and retrieve the boy.
Oh.
I heard he was found dead not too far. But again, travelling in the harsh conditions of winter. Though, there are those who whisper that he was murdered.
I would not be surprised. He did take fairly decent provisions for such a journey.
You
I
know,
mean-
sometimes I still wish we had Bjorn.
You don't have Bjorn? What happened to Bjorn?
Well,
He had a
There's a
destiny.
13-volume set called What Happened to Bjorn. It was his journals. You guys never picked them up though, so...
We'll go back and get them.
When he died, he had the last volume on it. It was like, final volume 13, What Happened to Bjorn? And it's like, well, if the vision proceeded as foreseen, then I got stabbed in the back by a shadow. That's what happened to Bjorn.
That was the Champions of Jor-Karroc, an archival recording of an AD&D 2.5 edition pen and paper role-playing game night. The opening credits music was Lords of the Sky from the Battleforge OST. These musics are used in a non-profit archive tabletop session played and no ownership is expressed or implied. Video footage from the intro is credited in its video format. The preceding game night may have contained music and sound from Imogen Heap, George Michael, Evanescence, Age of Wonders 2, Aeon, Baldur's Gate 2, Battle Realms, Battleforge, Castlevania Lords of Shadow, Conan the Barbarian, Consortium, Daggerfall, Dark Souls 2, Darksiders, Darksiders 2, Demon's Souls, Diablo 2, Diablo 3, Divinity 2, Dragon Age Origins, Dragon's Dogma Dark Arisen, D&D Official RP Soundtrack, EverQuest 2, Fable The Lost Chapters, God of War 2, God of War 3, Guild Wars, Eye of the North, Guild Wars Factions, Guild Wars Nightfall, Guild Wars Additional Music, Heroes of Might and Magic 5, Hitman Blood Money, Kingdoms of Amalur, Reckoning, Brawl, Legacy of Kain, Soul Reaver, Lords of the Fallen, Lord of the Rings, War in the North, Morrowind, Vampire the Masquerade, Oblivion, Pillars of Eternity, Risen, Sacred 2, The Settlers 2, The Settlers 5, The Witcher 2, The Witcher 3, The X-Files, Trine, Trine 2, Unreal Tournament 2004, Wolfenstein The New Order, Fallout New Vegas, Golden Axe, Age of Conan, RoboCop, Blind Guardian, Deus Ex, Halo, Halo 2, Halo 3, Halo 3 ODST, Halo Reach, The Hobbit Trilogy, The Star Wars Special Edition Trilogy, The Star Wars Prequel Trilogy, Raiders of the Lost Ark, Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom, Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade, Metal Gear Solid 2, Metal Gear Solid 4, Serenity, the Star Trek movie soundtracks, Star Wars, The Old Republic, Manos, The Hands of Fate, Babylon 5, Gran Turismo 5, Deathstalker, Phantom of the Opera, Final Fantasy VII, Final Fantasy VII Advent Children, Desadia Duodecim, miscellaneous other classical music, sound effects, or fantasy tracks taken from YouTube, too numerous to list. Music is used as a non-profit manner to enhance gameplay and is included in the archive as audible on the night. If you would like to be credited for your music and it is not listed here, please send a message to the channel. The proper credit will be applied in the description and future audio credits. The preceding archival recording contains strong language, sexual references, and themes and should not have been listened to if you are under the age of 18, have a history of mental disorders, lack coping skills, a chronic inability to press stop or back buttons, find said material offensive, are easily upset, disgusted, offended by puns, are pregnant, or have no sense of humor.
It's a store that carries all kinds of magic and occult items, everything from how to conduct a witchcraft ritual to coven meetings, books on everything you'd need, crystals, astrology, tarot cards, everything for occult.